Welcome to the official AFL Fantasy podcast with the Traders.
G'day with the Traders. I'm Roy. I coach Destroy, and I'm here with Warnie.
Coach of the Wonder.
And Gavin.
Coach of Galvinator.
Righto. Saddle up. Make yourself a
It's
coffee.
It's going to be a short
Get
one this year.
comfortable because we got the dog. I don't know how it happens every year, but he's got the Bombers again.
Well, because we do our own clubs.
Please just
because
act
apparently we know
interested.
more about them. I went back and listened to that one about Adelaide before.
Oh, come on. Okay, let's see if your Essendon can beat my Adelaide.
Well, they can.
Merrett.
Do you know
Merrett,
why
Merrett,
they
Merrett.
can? Because they are the most relevant team in the AFL. Well, not really. No. They scored the most fantasy points last year.
Did they really?
Does that surprise
Well,
you?
I'll give them that.
does surprise
I'll give them
me.
that.
They did. They went, better than everyone else. 3.3 tonnes per game. So in that top couple of those.
Impressive, yes.
So, and it is off the back of old mate Zach Merrett. We'll talk about it.
He does a bit, doesn't he?
He's a
And
very good
has
player.
done for a long time.
Like there's that argument that he's your number one draft pick.
Oh, no.
Number one midfielder.
Didn't take him long to say something stupid.
So the Bombers didn't do much over the trade period,
Oh, they're in a good spot, are they?
but they did lose Jake Stringer. That's good.
Hit the power bound down button, dog.
We'll talk about old string trick later.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. Bombers
Were you disappointed about that?
getting rid of Stringer.
Yeah.
Well, when they dumping him for like pick 50 odd or something,
Yeah.
it's showing that you don't really want him.
No, it is. What about you, though, personally? Did you want him?
I didn't mind a bit of string trick, but oh well.
You've moved on.
Moved on because they have picked up some, one especially good rookie,
Yeah.
which we'll talk about later. But
Just wake me up, Roy, at some point, please. Wake me up.
well, let's get into it.
Right,
Let's start
please.
with Zach Merrett. We know how good he is.
Right.
He has been, and it's almost, when I was writing our article for this, it's almost a copy and paste from last year because he's just...
Do you do that as well?
So this is going to be his 10th season in a row going 100 plus. Because he will go 100 plus.
Is
10
it?
in a row.
Yeah.
So, and he was just played every game.
Did you adjust the 9 to the 10? That's all you've really got to do.
Yeah,
there.
pretty much.
Yeah.
I think that's what I must have written last year. Oh, he's going for 9. He's going for 10. And guess
good stuff.
no, he just had 17 scores over 100, 7 120 plus. So just one of those gun players that you can see. So do you know when his highest score was? Not when you want it, in your fantasy grand final.
Was it?
Yep. And guess what? I traded him out for that one.
I
I got pretty
such a random
luxury
coach.
trade season. They were playing
does
Brisbane,
suck, yeah.
and he'd come off a 90, and you just go, let's find the matchup that's going
Yeah.
to be better. Anyway,
Luxury trade.
Expert.
good on you, Zach, for doing that.
Can't believe you traded out Merrett.
Your boy.
For the big one.
So the interesting thing this pre-season though is that they've talked about him or he's training off half back.
Oh.
That ain't happening. I think we've been there before for that, but
If he goes to half back, who goes in the middle?
well, there's a little bit going on with the Bombers midfield.
No, he's not on half back.
No, he's not.
No.
So he had the most. Like he had more than Ruckman did, sort of thing.
One thing I will say about that, you did see him floating back there more often than he used to.
He gets some of those nice cheaper ones.
He
back
does.
there too. So.
Yeah. There were games where he was playing.
Oh, we do like
there.
that.
Yeah.
Zach
So
Merrett, DP.
at that price
Don't
where
fool
he is, so 1,116,000. So he's priced at basically 109, which that's what you're going to get from him.
Yeah,
like
it
he's
is.
just that guy. But I did mention before, number one draft pick, number one midfielder pick, just because
safe, isn't
he's
he?
safe.
Yeah.
And that's what you want, isn't it?
So the thing with Merrett, we all want him in our team at some stage, but you've just got to wait for something to happen, don't you? Like a random vest or injury, or you can't pay that first up in Classic, can you?
No.
No.
No, I couldn't.
No.
That's the thing. So
And they've also got the early buy, don't they?
they do, because
They
they
do.
play
the
in
cherry on top,
opening
isn't it?
round because
Yeah.
they're one of the big teams in the competition.
And then they've got the buy in round,
Got the round
4.
Yeah. So, yeah. Nic Martin was another reason why the Bombers were one of the top scoring teams last year. Now, Roy, you were big on him in the preseason.
I was.
You were wrong, though, because you said he'd average 105.
How close
he
was
took
I
his
then?
85 up to 107, so you missed it.
Can you just hit me right
got
in
you.
the middle
Well
there,
done, Destroy.
please? Because I remember what I copped for that.
Amazing. He had an amazing season because he had that role.
Oh.
It was unbelievable. So that half-back role.
remember saying that.
The new half-back time, as we talked about. But what's going to be interesting for him is that, so he started as a midfielder, gained that defender status to do that. But does he now head up the ground a bit more like he did sporadically last season? So on that wing, gets thrown forward.
I'm looking at it now. It was round 18, he kicks 4 goals.
Yeah.
Round 21, he kicks 2. Round 23, he kicks 3.
If he doesn't want it to happen, he didn't do the right thing there
No.
because he was very good.
He was.
So
forward of the ball.
versatility could hurt him,
Yes.
but he still got it done when he did that, though. That's the thing.
That's the
It's
thing.
just one that you can't back in because he did have the juicy role.
Yeah.
That 107 going to be hard to match again.
He's just a very good player, isn't he?
So you're saying like in draft, then you need to bump him down a bit?
Well, just temper your expectations. They're the sorts of players where you might have to give it a
Yeah, okay.
just because you don't want to
Guess. You don't want to be guessing each
and
week
that's it.
with a high draft pick.
Take your safety of that guy that you think's going to definitely just do that, like a Sinclair.
Sinclair.
That we talked about
You take
last
Sinclair over
episode.
Martin.
Yep.
Gee whiz.
But then it's a lot of points
Martin
difference in that. It's
excites
half a
me
dozen
more.
points there.
Yeah.
It's tough.
It is
If he
tough.
goes down, which he should, given he'll never play that role that he did at the very start, where they thought he was the only one in the D50 that could kick. He'll never get fed like that again, but he can score. Like, he's still over 100 guy.
Yep.
You're not second guessing whether Martin will average 100
No, I don't think so.
because he will.
He will.
Now, a bloke that did power up last year was Jye Caldwell, and so he was handy because he had the forward status, and we were all over that and enjoyed that. He basically put 20 points on his previous season's average, but played every game. Little bit up and down with how things went, but I think as the season went on, we got that consistency, and he turned into that player that was almost at a nice price, the must-have in the back half of the year, and came through.
That vest was the only
Yep,
negative
that's right.
in there, and then everyone who didn't have him got to launch into it cheap.
Yep.
That was
Because was that a little calf or something?
yeah,
wasn't it?
and he played the next week.
Yeah, that's right. So, but yeah, he became one of the midfielders in the higher number mix in that back half of the season. So that's there. Do we expect that for next year possibly? So can he
think
turn
so.
that 95 into 100?
Potentially.
He's got the
I
tools
feel like
to.
I feel like he is the 95 guy, but yeah, he could do 100 for sure.
But then I guess it is one of those little things is Darcy Parish. So he's a midfielder.
That guy.
So he had a year, one of those ones to forget because of injuries and things, and they felt like they lingered as well. But he's always going to be one of the top 3 midfielders for the Bombers.
Without a doubt.
And that's what his role is and where he is. So hopefully his season's better, but he dropped down to 91.6 his average from the 107 the year before.
Yeah, it's a big drop off.
It's a huge drop
Yeah,
off.
games played starting to become an issue.
It is, isn't it?
Each season.
It is.
So,
Because we should see that drop off.
Yes.
We should be genuinely excited about that, especially given they're a fantasy scoring team
they're up the top.
and he's dropped that much. Why aren't we all over that with
You're spot on. It's the
BP.
games played. 12 last year, 18 the year before, and then a 16. Like, it's just so... It's a headache waiting to happen.
Because on the flip side, he ticks so many boxes. He's a guy that can do 150s.
Yes.
He can average 107, which is uber elite.
Yeah. It's a bump up in your draft rankings.
I'm glad they've got that bad draw of the early
Yeah.
bye,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you don't
It
even have
just
to
rules
think
it in.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, humour me for a little bit here with some
Yeah,
players
go.
that could be.
Here we go.
That could be our power-ups.
He's got 10
Seatbelts on.
minutes.
No, I'm just going to throw them out there. Ben Hobbs.
Okay, I'm a Hobbsy fan.
Yes, you are.
You are.
I love Hobbsy.
Yes.
So
yes.
he's priced at 48.5.
The issue with Hobbsy is...
At what?
48.5.
What
So
happened?
he's under 500k.
Hobbsy
and
copping
got
best, was
forward
he?
status. So that's the thing. Like he, that year before, he was in the midfield mix. And
Yeah.
remember, you blokes got him, and I didn't after I talked him up to you.
Yeah, you talked us into it.
And he averaged, like, for the season, in the end,
Thanks
it
for
was a
that.
77 average.
Yeah,
So
he was great.
It was good. He was, because he was just so good in the VFL, 154, 118 and 118 that led him into the team again in 2023.
Yeah.
And then it was like 9 scores of 80 plus from his 18 games. Like, he was just a good player getting that with that. So, yeah, now... Last year, he only played 12 games. 4, he was the starting sub. So that's what's brought that down a fair bit in that. So he's the kind of player, like at that thing, like it's the draft sleeper, but he could be a forward that you go,
Yeah.
if he's straight in the team and getting some midfield time,
Yeah.
like if you're priced at under 500k, you're turning that into 700 pretty quick.
If he's getting like 30% CBAs even, he can score when he's getting that role.
Yep.
But what is midfield makeup, do you reckon?
So, well, it's Zach and Darcy
Yeah.
Parish. They're the two main ones. But then you're going to see, like, it's just a mix from the next group. Like, Dylan Shield, he was talked about playing at
Caldwell
halfback
will
as
be
well.
there as
Caldwell
well.
will have to be there. He's going to have to be in that mix. And then what are they doing with blokes like Archie Perkins? But you've got Stringer out,
Yeah.
who would always get,
Yeah.
I don't know, what did he average? 31%. Like, that's where you see him. Like, he's that 30 to 40%
Yeah.
pinch hitting.
So if
in the
Hobbsy can be
midfield.
that guy.
But Sam Durham is ahead of him at the moment.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
that's true as
Durham
well.
has to
So
be
I think
there.
he's a
Because of
long
his
way
role and what
behind
he
him.
does.
Yeah, but Hobbs, he's worth a look based on that 77 he has done before.
As a late
I
draft
see him
pick.
as a late draft pick because
So do I.
in the forward line where we've got some struggling players, like if you're getting that and you're getting him, because if he goes to 70, takes his 50 to a 70 basically,
It's handy
Like you're
in a
just
deep
going,
draft.
that's going to get, he's going to be top 20.
Yes. Yep.
Top 25.
Yeah.
So a fieldable player
Yeah.
each week.
Yeah.
Where
Move him up the
he
list.
may be undrafted, but I don't know. As I said, humour me a little bit.
Oh, I'm ticking off the Hobbs discussion.
I actually like it because when it's deep in a draft, you're a few cans in, and all of a sudden everyone averages 50, and you've
Yep.
got to pick one of them. That's the one you'd be picking.
Yep,
Like,
agree.
it's where are some of these guys? Sardis, is he going to be something at some
I
point?
hear a lot of positive talk from
So do
Essendon
I.
supporters, but
You can't get a game though, can you?
The other one, Harry Jones, was another one.
Harry.
Because he went up on a wing and was
Yes.
scoring all right. This is draft relevant as well.
Oh, yeah, for
that's
sure.
where he is. But although training reports are saying that he's deep forward. Again.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
which is probably what he needs to be for the Bombers' needs. But, yeah, it's a little bit tricky. I'm not sort of going in saying, yep, Bombers have got all this value or anything like that. The only thing I will mention off that, though, their defenders, Ridley, McGrath, Redmond, and then later in the season, Archie Roberts, they all basically averaged 85.
yeah, right.
Unbelievable. 4 of them
Yeah, it
did
is.
that. And it's about where you see those guys at. So, again, they're going to be draft relevant because that's where
Yep.
they're going to be sitting, and they're probably safe-ish with what they're doing there,
I think
with the
so.
way that they use the ball and make that happen. So, yeah.
I like what you guys are doing in the ruck as well. I see Goldie's rolling around again.
And Draper.
And Drapes.
He had a breakout season, Draper, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, he went up. No, he just equaled it. 67.
Can't be fun.
In a league where Ruckman are averaging 117s
Yeah.
and 116s, we got Draper getting half of that.
Well, let's just talk about some cash cows instead. And I'll talk about Dogs Go Wacko over Kako. And he was...
How's that even fit?
Maybe if he played for Western Bulldogs.
There you go.
He was an NGA player, and the Bombers copped criticism because they traded their first round pick, and anyway, they got him, which is what they got him at pick 13, and he's just going to fill a need in that forward 50. Like, he will play. So we're getting a dude that is, basically priced as a rookie, so therefore we're going to get him at 304k. Might be a little bit too much for what his output might be as that
Okay.
sort of,
Yeah, okay.
small forward, because we know, but he'll be there. That's the thing. So, what was it, 65 he averaged for Vic Metro in the under-18 champs, but it was an 85 for Calder in the Coach
nice.
Talent League. So, yeah, it's just more the point that he's going to be there. The other ones that are worth looking at, Zach Reid, we all started with him last year on the bench, got injured in that first game, which means that he remains basement price at 230k, so he could be one that you can do. And this is where, even though the
It is.
Bombers have got that early buy,
You take that
you can
still.
do that with the rookies, I think, there. So could be that sort of D7 or D8 player to have.
He was a gift last year.
Yeah.
And because he'll play, like he's the key position player, so you're not going to expect heaps for him, but depends on what we've got for defenders in the back line, might be that heartbeat that you need.
Yeah,
So
he'll be my new pinky.
Yep. Agree.
he might take some of the points off those defenders I talked about. He
might,
might
he
take
might.
a few marks back there.
or
So, look, he scored tons in the VFL.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no,
he's more than capable.
Reedy can play.
Reedy can play.
The other one is the mid-season recruit from last year, Saad El-Hawli. So he's a defender mid at 230k. Now, he's the one that is going to be a better scorer if you were choosing between them for a D7 or D8. He played for the Northern Bull Ants. He was averaging 101 in the lead up being picked up by
up
the
my
Bombers
ears.
in the VFL. So played 4 games for the Dons in the VFL, like after he got picked up because he didn't play a senior game. 90-80 he averaged. So
That's
there's
impressive.
good numbers there. He got a syndesmosis injury though, so he
got
hasn't
him.
played the 4 games. So keep a look at him. He's 23, that mature age. Like
No,
that
you've sold
ticks
me on him.
Perfect boxes there. So
100%.
if you're going to put in a D7 or D8, then it's going to be El-Hawli. Like he's in my side right now. Just that's the
Without a
placeholder.
doubt. Yeah.
And fingers crossed he can keep going.
Especially like a team like the Bombers is it perfect for a mature ager that can actually get his
Mate,
hands on the
walk
ball.
up. I tell you what, I nodded off at times, I'll admit.
Yeah, but he did all right,
You
I
did all
reckon.
right, dog.
I
You've
was
done all right.
interested.
They were so good. They're
wasn't
hard to
bad.
get anything this year because you had blokes like Durham went up 20 points on what he
Yeah.
did.
Oh,
When
you missed that
Dersma-
last year, didn't you?
Dersma came in
Yeah.
from Port. He
Yeah.
went 15 points better.
Oh, you missed that last year, didn't you?
Yes, I missed most of it last year. You traded out Zach Merrett in round 23 for his high score. Yeah, what a peanut. Well, anyway.
That was good though, mate.
That was
Well
the
done.
Bombers, and you can go and pick heaps of them if you want at fantasy.afl.com.au and get it all happening with your draft leagues and the all-new draft experience at fantasydraft.afl.com.au. Hit that follow button for all wherever you listen to podcasts and on Spotify. Comment. El-Hawli.
Look, sometimes
Get
a good comment
Where are you
is-
picking?
Sometimes a good comment's not to comment, right? So I recommend people just write no comment.
Where is Zach Merrett going in your draft? Which number?
He always goes about 6 every year. He goes
3?
He's top 5, easy. Yeah.
3 or 4? 3?
Yeah. The ruckman.
He doesn't get the credit he deserves.
He does-
His
now-
ADP will
He's
be down
going
where
for his 10th 100
Yes.
plus score. I'm going to say that many times.
Cut and
this preseason. Can't wait to write the 11th next year.